Thank you. I rise today on two topics, Madam President. One, I want to say that while I don't agree with everything my good friend from Rhode Island just said about the issue he was talking about, the two of us have worked all this year to try to bring people together on the issue that we failed to deal with today on cybersecurity. And Senator Whitehouse and I, along with Senator Kyle and Senator Mikulski, at the very first of the year, began to create opportunities for senators to sit down together and talk about the threat we faced and talk about what we needed to do to deal with this. And I'm convinced, and I believe all of the people I just mentioned are equally convinced, that two things will happen. That we will eventually have a cyber attack on our country that will be successful in some way that many Americans will understand the danger we face from the cyber threat, and secondly, that we'll eventually pass a bill. My strong belief is that that will be a better bill if we pass it before that event rather than after that event. And I think we can move forward. I think there is good faith. As I said, we started, four of us, beginning to get people together quickly. That group was joined by Senator Collins and Senator Lieberman, so 6 of us began to get people together. There were any number of meetings this week that were 24 senators, about equally divided between both parties, trying to find a way forward here. I didn't think we had found that in the cloture motion today. The motion said, here's how we're going to proceed to finish this bill. We didn't move forward today, but I hope that we can continue to work with Senator Reid and others to create the sense that Senator Whitehouse just expressed, that there is great bipartisan effort being made to find a solution that not only would pass a Senate bill, but would wind up with a bill on the president's desk sometime this year. You don't have to look very far to find people who will say that the greatest threat we face at this moment is the threat of some kind of cyber attack. At the highest levels of our military structure, of our intelligence structure, they quickly come to that conclusion. And leaving here for the work period that Congress has had since the beginning of Congresses in August without having this done on the Senate side is disappointing to me. On the other hand, there wouldn't have been a bill even if we would have passed a bill today, because we have to work with the House to have a bill that winds up with a piece of paper on the president's desk, a relatively small stack of paper that he can sign, that becomes the law that allows ourselves to either minimize or hopefully avoid the current certainty that someone will eventually begin to get to our critical infrastructure in a way that makes it hard for the country to get water, to get electricity, to communicate, to address the financial network. 3 or 4 days anywhere in the country that the electricity's out, and suddenly you begin to see all of the things that are dependent on just the electrical grid. And so hopefully we can do this. I know that work is being done. I'll be involved in some of it later today, and I'm disappointed we didn't get this done, but it has to be done, not just with we can't leave here this year with the House saying we passed a bill and the Senate saying either we didn't pass a bill because one side didn't want to work with the other, or we passed a bill but the House wouldn't agree to it. This is not a problem that we just need to have a political answer to. This is a problem we need to have a real answer to.